obviously the result has to be unsatisfactory, but were you okay with the effort for the most part tonight?
It's a difficult thing. I'm not going to fault the effort of the group because I do think that they worked extremely hard to break down a team that played extremely defensively tonight, and we knew they would. But when it comes to the 2 goals that came against us, I thought there was just some real lack of focus again and commitment to stay with marks in the box. Both balls were served into the box and headed by the same player who was literally unmarked on both plays. It's not good enough.
The defense on set pieces has been a troublesome point all season. What do you do to address that? Is that something that helps when Chris Schuler comes back, or what are you looking to do there?
For me, it's just individual plays. It's about whether or not you're going to make your play against your mark. It's about whether or not you're going to be physically out-muscled by the forward that you're marking or the attacking player that you're marking, or whether you're going to take just that half a second nap that means he gets in behind you and has a scoring chance. And for me, it's we can work on it in training all we want, but in the game, it just comes down to focus and commitment.
Is there personnel issues on that? I mean, is there somebody you're looking, or is it somebody I don't want to single out, but somebody on the defense that seems to need some changes?
No, I think that it's been a different player on multiple plays all year. It's just a tendency that this group is having to not recognize the danger situations quickly enough. And we've talked about it, and we've talked about it, and we talked about it. And maybe at some point they'll figure it out and start to recognize it, because as we see, it's one of the very few ways that opponents are causing us troubles.
Interesting game, and just the bang-bang goals there over 4 minutes. Maybe talk about the reactions, both positively and negatively, by your team during that stretch.
Yeah, I think that, again, that's one of those situations where we have all the momentum, until San Jose gets one break, one cross into the box, and an unmarked Lennart heads it in the goal. And then I think that we probably feel a little bad for ourselves, but we score a goal on a corner kick with Morales, and now I think that all the momentum should be in our favor. Then it comes to a dead ball situation, and we don't do a good enough job. And so I think because of that sort of flip-flop, I think that now our guys are really hanging their heads. And that's not good enough. It's not good enough. We're going to make mistakes. Some of those mistakes are going to mean that we're going to get goals scored against us. But we need to stick together. We need to have positive reactions and move forward from it. In the second half, I thought is pretty decent, but we just weren't quite good enough in the attacking third of the field. There's a lot of players in the box, a lot of players around the box to deal with and move around, and we needed some special plays. We just didn't quite get them tonight.
How much do you miss maybe Saborio in a down the stretch, in these important games?
Yeah. I mean, we've seen before when we have an opponent that does that, sits that far back in there, we need somebody to be in the box, to finish the goals, to make a run, and beat their opponent that's defending them to the ball and put it in the goal. So I do think that we miss Sabo in matches like this. There's no doubt about it.
With so many bodies they had in the box there, especially in maybe the last 15 or 20 minutes, would you have liked to see your team try and attack a different way? It seemed like just most of the time it was just crosses going in. I think you had 34, which seems like a lot.
Yeah. I think that we are not a crossing team, and so it causes us problems late in games if we're going to be down a goal, if the opponents are going to put a lot of players in the box, because that's clearly what's on. You have time and space in the ball, and you want to put it in there on a cross. But I think we've still got to continue to be who we are and find passes and find combination plays to get in and around them through the box, because I think that can be done as well. And sometimes with that, you need some shots from distance to challenge them, to get them to come out a little bit more. And I think we got a few of those, but probably not enough that should have been on frame, that could have and should have been on frame.
Obviously, with a couple back-to-back losses at this point, and Seattle and LA are still going on tonight. I mean, Supporter Shield becomes a little bit harder to achieve. Mm-hmm. I mean, how do you address that with your team at this point? Is that something that you say, you know what, we're going to kind of focus just on us in the playoffs and seeding, or how do you handle that at this point?
I think we need to see what the result is tonight. We need to see what the result is tomorrow with New York. And then we can make a decision about how we're going to move forward. I'm not ready to make that decision right now. I probably still won't be ready to throw in the towel in the Supporters Shield, but perhaps I will. Perhaps we'll put a huge focus on the Open Cup. We'll put a huge focus on just trying to get ourselves in the playoffs, and we'll put a huge focus on trying to get our swagger back a little bit before the playoffs start.
Watch RSL take on Vancouver on September 28th at 5 o'clock on Utah's CW30.